Hello everyone, happy Friday. I'm back again with another video, and I said that I would fill you guys in on the kind of gradual changes I've made to my diet and lifestyle that have proved better for my health and also for my skin. So I'll just start from the very beginning. I'll start off from when I was born. So I had really bad skin, it was very dry, and I had a condition called atopic eczema. And basically what this is, it's an allergic type eczema when the skin is dry and scaly and you get little plaques of inflammation, and it's extremely itchy and it can be quite distressing for a baby. It typically affects people on the inside of their elbows, so here and here, behind the knees. And it can just be extremely sore, and sometimes, you know, if you see babies with little mittens on, little gloves on, it's because their parents are trying to stop them from scratching their skin. And at this time in the 1980s, my mother was told not to use moisturiser on my skin. She was told that I was far too young for moisturiser and the best thing was just to leave the skin alone. And thank goodness that now science has progressed and we know that we really need to be doing the opposite thing, and there's actually a massive study going on at the moment which looks at the connection between eczema, hay fever and asthma and food allergies, and preliminary results from this study have shown that if you put emollients, that's moisturising creams on babies from a very young age, this actually reduces their lifetime risk of having asthma or eczema or food allergies as they get older. And it's all down to the skin, it's all linked to the skin. And the kind of key molecule which was discovered fairly recently is called filaggrin, and this is what links it all together, and I'll talk about it in another video. Anyway, when I got a little bit older, the doctors, you know, gave me steroid creams, and they said, don't worry, you know, she's going to grow out of it. All children with eczema grow out of it. Well, let's just say I did not grow out of it. And at one point, my mum was really desperate, and she turned to Chinese medicine, which is an alternative form of medicine. It's not a Western medicine. And I remember being given this kind of brown drink that really didn't taste very nice, and I hated drinking it, and it made me feel really sick. Now this is just my personal experience. I can't speak for anyone else who's tried Chinese medicine, but what I can say is that do your research, and any alternative medication that you're taking, they do have drug properties, they can have side effects, they can affect the liver, so just be really careful. And for me, I did not have a good experience, and I ended up feeling really sick. I ended up vomiting, and at one point I had to actually go to hospital because I was vomiting so much. So let's just say that did not work out well for me, and I stopped using the Chinese medicine. Really we were at our wits' end, and it wasn't clear. Now we know that there's something called cow's milk protein allergy. Whether I did or did not have that at the time, I don't know. I wasn't diagnosed. But when I was in primary school or early secondary school, we decided to cut out cow's milk products, so dairy, to see if that made any improvement on my skin. So I remember going on a school trip and I had these soya milk drinks, and this was back a long time ago, before dairy free was fashionable, before dairy free was the way to go. So there was only like one type of soya milk available. It was very difficult to find and it didn't taste very nice, but I got used to it, and I don't think it really, at that time, I don't think it made that much difference. So yeah, and I remember that one of my dad's friends, who was a GP, basically said that I should just stop using all soap and use an emollient to wash my skin. And at that time it was just kind of like ludicrous. I was like, how can I not use soap? I need to like scrub my skin with soap and be clean every day. But he knew what he was talking about a long time ago, and really that is what needs to be done. As I've gotten older, I have slowly cut out dairy. More so, I did it specifically for my tummy because I was feeling quite bloated, but I think over time, it has probably helped my skin, because if I eat a really big oily pizza, or if I'm drinking a lot of cow's milk, my skin is not as clear, it's not as smooth, it has bumps. Not specifically makes my eczema worse, but my skin in general just is not as smooth. So I don't know if I've spoken to you guys about cow's milk and all of the different components of it, but it's not designed for humans, it's designed for cows. And so my life is so much better having cut out dairy. I'm not a die-hard dairy free person, so if I'm in Italy and there is delicious gelato, I'm going to eat it in moderation. I'll have a small helping and I'll treat myself. Or if I'm in France and I go to a cheese and wine bar, I'm gonna eat the cheese. But it's just not something that I choose to consume every day, and I don't drink cow's milk in its purest form. I would have it in a processed form such as cheese, or like ice cream or a yogurt or something. So that's just a little bit about my early years and how I made a change a very long time ago to see if cutting out cow's milk would help me. Now, there is a specific condition called cow's milk protein allergy, and this is something that can affect babies. There are two types, so there's the kind of immediate onset and there's a delayed onset. And symptoms of this in babies would be crying a lot, having an upset tummy, vomiting, diarrhea, sometimes even they get constipation, and really bad rashes over the body. And if you suspect that your baby may have this specific condition, which is an allergy, not an intolerance, and these are very different, definitely see your GP for further information on how this can be diagnosed. Usually the safest way to do it under the advice of a doctor is an elimination diet. So if you're breastfeeding, you would be advised to cut out all products with cow's milk protein for about 2 weeks to see if your baby's symptoms get better, and then reintroduce the cow's milk protein, and if their symptoms flare up, that's a positive diagnosis. If you're formula feeding your baby, your GP might recommend that you try a hydrolyzed form of formula milk suitable for babies with cow's milk protein allergy, and then reintroduce the cow's milk and see if the symptoms come back again. That would be a positive diagnosis. But all of this stuff would be done under the guidance of a doctor. So that's just a little bit about me. There is a link between dairy and acne, and I can talk about that next time. Well, it's been nice speaking to you, and have a good day. Bye.